one of the things that interests me is how talky these films are, and how they fly in the face of all of that film school wisdom that images should take precedence over words, and that there should be three acts, and that the first turning point should be approximately, I forgot what Sid Field
Page
says.
22.
Page 22. Yeah, and so this is such a different experience, and it flows in such a different way. So how intentional was that, and how much did you feel yourself resisting that model of the three act page 22?
Well, the first part of that is just all the dialogue, and I think that's what it is when you're really getting to know someone. The idea of the first film was two people connecting.
Mm-hmm.
So that in real life, that is a very verbal, conversational event. So that it was always going to be that, and it really, the first film was really just about trying to capture kind of something, the intangible thing between these two people that, it was a very minimalist design. Nothing great happened in the movie other than this connection. So I just remember wanting to make a film just about that, which entailed, it was really all conversation.
Mm-hmm.
There's a kiss in there somewhere, but
right.
And
So
we
it
build
begins-
up to that in real time, sort of. It wasn't, you start to make a movie and you realize, oh, I guess we're in the romantic film genre, or romantic. I don't know how comedic we are, but you start thinking about the genre you find yourself in with the story you're trying to tell.
Yeah, I thought of it more as a melancholy romantic comedy. Yes.
Even though they're 23, that film is kind of, it has all kinds of melancholic shades for sure.
But that must have been a different experience for Ethan and Julie to do so much dialogue in a film.
I feel like I learned, told Rick this, that on Before Sunrise, I learned how to talk on camera. I mean, most of the time as an actor, they ask you, really in certain ways, to just strike a certain pose or evoke a feeling or emote or, and Rick really wanted us to speak to each other. And it was really challenging for me. And for Julia, it was her second language. And so it was extremely, both of us, it was so much work all the time. I remember we each had these people assigned to us to run lines with all the time. It was just,
First film too? No, first film.
first one. Yeah,
yeah.
Remember we used to go
Second
to that
film.
park and run lines?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was mostly, no, it was really intense. I mean, I don't remember the first film as much as the second film, which was really like this constant, like, rehearsing.
And I do think it would be
lines.
thrown out of any legitimate screenplay class
Right.
in the world.
Yeah, this big monologue.
so many people, this is not a movie. What?
I've always rebelled, which is amazing. Every day
Yeah.
in working up to the film, Ethan would read something and go, Rick, how are we getting to make this movie? Who greenlit this? How'd you get this movie financed? You were looking at me like,
But you could say that about Slacker and many of your other
Or
films.
Waking Life,
it's
or
true. It's
people
true, but
ask about what happens in Before Midnight. Nothing. I mean, it's
Yeah,
real, I really
kinda,
like the
yeah.
film, but nothing
You're about
happens.
to see nothing.
Yeah.
But I have always rebelled against that. I remember her, the great Sam Fuller. I remember him speaking at a thing. He says, "Cinema's about don't talk about it, show it."
Yes,
And
right.
every film
Yeah.
RTF teacher will say, it's a visual medium. Just you just show. You don't talk about it. You don't talk about a character and experience. You show them having the experience. But I never approached cinema like that. I always thought people talking was so evocative, and what they're describing, it has a double effect.
People talking can be wonderfully cinematic. Really.
Yeah, because not only does it conjure what they're talking about in the viewer's mind, because you're not showing it. To me, it's more interesting because you not only do you get the essence of them and what they're saying, but also what they're talking about.
But that said, I feel
Less literal,
those films
yeah.
have a certain structure anyway. You know what I mean?
Ours?
The
Those
before
films.
films.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
yeah,
they
they're
have a
not
structure, like the
meandering.
arc of the character. It's not about like what's happening or what twist
It's
is
an
happening
emotional
there.
arc.
It's an emotional arc, an emotional, like there is a first act, second act, third act, but it's just on an emotional level, which is actually in a way harder to write and construct, I would say, than a thriller, because it's like, it's so kind of fragile.
They're
What
much
we
more
are,
subtle,
building
points
on.
to hit. Yeah,
It's about the revelation of character, and
Yes.
you're peeling off one layer after another.
yeah.
Exactly.
In the first film, we had a blocked out scene that just said, it was a little more than halfway, 2/3 of the way through. It says, scene in cafe, their relationship goes to a new level.
It literally says it's a best scene in movie.
Yeah.
Relationship goes to.
Oh,
new
by the
level.
way, it has to be like the best scene in the
Yeah,
movie. We have to come up with that
But
in the
Rick
next couple weeks.
He used to always say that the trouble with these movies, if we write a bad line or if the camera catches Julie and I acting, the whole thing falls apart.
The whole
Because
illusion
as soon as you see people acting and you
It's a
see
delicate
drama, well, then
structure.
you want a plot. But if the mysterious thing that he was going for was some non-action.
It's interesting that you said it, because there are moments when both of you as characters take on a different persona. You become this macho Greek or Hispanic guy.
I'm not sure which.
And you become the kind of
Harry.
bimbo who says, "Oh, you're a writer," and you put on that whole thing, and you're so good at that, Or
It's her
even
natural self. This is the act.
This is-
I don't think so.
Thank you,
but,
Ethan. It's
so-
okay. It's okay. I don't mind. You can make fun of me.
But
It's okay.
that becomes an opportunity for you to show a little bit of acting chops at the same
Because-
time as yeah.
Yeah, no, but also people in real, we're trying to imitate something or to recreate something as true as possible, as genuine as possible. And people act in real life.
They do.
Real people, non-actors act all the time. You're not the same in front of your boss. You're not the same in front of someone you're flirting with. I think it's a whole...
Isn't it that Brando quote about, they asked him about, what acting is, and he called over his dog.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "See, this dog, it's acting right now. It's pretending it likes me, and it wants food, And that it's all of us are performing for each other.
Yeah,
in a way.
there's that great scene at the end of the second movie where you do your Nina Simone song, and you suddenly, you're channeling Nina Simone.
Nina Simone, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
Would
fun.
you do that now?